Now, 3 months ago, we brought you a story that got very little media attention. 2 Jordanian nationals here illegally were arrested for trying to force their way onto the Marine Corps base in Quantico. Now, today we found out that those 2 illegals were allowed to go free on bond. They're out of custody by an immigration judge, and this happened in June. They promised to stay away from Quantico and other military bases, and they were sent on their way. Joining me now, Paul Mauro, Fox News contributor, former NYPD inspector. Paul, an ICE source has told Fox that there was no reason to believe either man had any ties to a terror organization and that no derogatory information was determined. Okay, I don't even know if that's grammatical, but your reaction tonight to that?
Well, there are some troubling aspects to this. First of all, one of them is a student overstay, but the other one, Hamdan, he enters the country illegally through the southern border in April. And in May, early May, less than a month, he attempts this breach of Quantico. That reeks of somebody who was sent here to do something. And the fact that they went onto the base, lied about what they were doing there, they claimed to be Amazon subcontractors, which was easily disprovable. It has the feel of a probe. And you have to say to yourself, I hope that they're chasing down the comms, the phones, and really backtracking on these guys, because let's remember something. They are Jordanian nationals. Half of Jordan is Palestinian. There are 3 million Palestinians in Jordan. And, you know, it's not like there's something going on in that part of the world now, is there? And so you have to say to yourself, here's a guy who very well may be ethnically Palestinian, arrives in America, and within a month is trying to breach FBI training facility. It is very troubling at the least.
I mean, were they trying to find somewhere to use the bathroom? I mean, why were they trying to get through? The whole thing just seems weird. And the fact that they were released on bond in June and no announcement made, or they were like, didn't want anyone to know that they were released in June. But I want to go on to another story. Shocking news from the Department of Defense yesterday that prosecutors agreed to plea agreements, Paul, with 3 of the masterminds of the September 11th terror attacks who are awaiting trial at Gitmo. The terms and conditions of the plea deals were not disclosed, but the terror suspects will be spared the death penalty. Now, Paul, I know you were at Ground Zero after 9/11. I know how many of the families that you spoke to there and the first responders. I know you were even angrier than I was when you heard this. Your reaction?
Yeah, you know, it's very hard not to cast your mind back to that day. You know, look, I understand the legalities here were difficult because apparently what occurred is that their lawyers, and they get lawyers even in a military tribunal, were going to say that the confessions were coerced through torture. And so that's going to be the story here. I'm skeptical of a couple of things. The fact that this information came out the same day that we get the prisoner exchange, and the fact that it took so long. And look, one of the things that KSM, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, the mastermind of 9/11, was advocating for is that he would never get solitary confinement. And, you know, they were really trying to set the conditions of how he would serve out his life term. And this is one I want to keep an eye on. I hope we do, because it has the feel of one of these things where we're going to find out 2-3 years from now in some sort of an expose that they're going back and forth to the beach and they're living in Guantanamo better than all of us are living here. So I don't know if they're going to end up there or in Leavenworth, but at the least they should get the conditions that you have in Supermax, 23 hours a day, lockdown, no contact with others.
Paul, I'm so glad you joined us tonight, having been at 9/11 right after the buildings collapsed. Paul, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Infuriating.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.